myself up, do something violent and unexpected. Obviously wasn't violent enough.
You're awake.
George, we don't tolerate violence in this building, unless it comes from me.
People should feel safe here, be they staff, patients, or giant vegetables. I shall have to ask you to leave.
But it's just I had a dream last night.
So this morning you punched me in the face. The connection isn't immediately obvious.
The man's deranged. Pierce, can't you do something?
Well, I am something of an authority on the human mind. Come on, George. Let's get you in the psychiatrist's chair.
It was a very disturbing dream. Pierce, you were in it.
That is disturbing.
I think I'm bleeding.
It's just a bit of ketchup.
There is nothing to worry about, George. And you dreaming about me means you envy my status as a doctor. You see...
But you're a superhero.
No, I'm not. Turns out I dreamt it all.
What? I've seen you fly.
You must have dreamt it too, Ernie. Look. Nothing.
Can you hear seagulls?
Yeah.
We're 40 miles from the sea. Those are super sensitive ears.
Maybe they're super loud seagulls.
Okay. How much money do I have in my pocket?
£3.80.
Correct. That's X-ray vision.
You've always got £3.80, Arnie, for the Racing Post 2 beef pasties and a scratch card.
True.
Now stop winding me up.
I'm sorry, George. You leave me no choice.
What did you do that for?
To prove to you that you can't be injured. To prove you're thermal, man.
Oh, Thermoman. Well, that's a relief. But couldn't you have just pointed to my helmet instead?
Sorry about that. How come you're dreaming anyway?
Ah, it all started last night. I think it's because I ate some sprouts.
Sprouts. You're from Ultron. What did you expect? Whatever you do, don't try a parsnip.
Why not?
Ultronian Viagra. You'll never get to sleep.
It's not the dreaming that's bothering me. It's that I didn't dream about Janet. If I don't dream about my own wife, does that mean I don't love her?
It was just one dream, George. Have a quiet night in. Just you, Janet, and this 3-pound bag of sprouts. You'll dream about her all night long.
Thanks, Arnie. And thanks for clubbing me around the head with a fire extinguisher, too.
What are friends for?
Hello, mistress. Nice day.
Exhausting.
It's not easy being a woman.
It's not easy doing two people's jobs and having a husband who can't even tell when he's awake.
Men, they have no idea what it's like to be a working wife and mother.
Neither of you.
All men are pigs.
Tyler, are you wearing my perfume?
Just a dab. I couldn't resist.
Well, I'd rather you didn't around the children.
You're worried it'll encourage them to explore their own sexuality?
No, I'm worried it'll encourage them to steal things from me.
He's wearing your eyeliner as well, Mummy.
He is as well. Tyler!
Sorry, I'll wear my own tomorrow.
Tyler, if you're wearing anything else of mine...
Yes?
You can keep it. Children, I know I've said in the past that I love you however you turn out. What I meant was, as long as you never, ever turn out like that.
It's Daddy you should be worried about. He's been in the bedroom eating sprouts for the last hour.
Janet, let's go to bed.
It's only 5:30. We haven't eaten yet.
I have. Janet, there's only one place that I can prove that I truly love you, and that's in bed.
The children aren't settled.
That's okay. You don't have to come with me. Hey, Janet. Your wife, Janet. You love her, Janet. Janet. Janet, I've just... Janet, wake up.
The building had better be on fire, George, if you've woken me up to tell me about another dream.
Oh, you weren't in it. Mrs. Raven was.
I don't care. I hardly ever dream about you.
So who do you dream about?
Just then, Nelson Mandela, I think.
Nelson Mandela. I always knew he was up to something.
Ah, Janet, how's tricks?
Awful. You can't expect me to keep up my own duties and run the desk.
Oh, don't be so modest. I have every confidence in you. Did George say anything about our little chat yesterday?
No, he just went to bed.
Well, of course, I can't say much, doctor-patient confidentiality and all that, but basically, Janet, he doesn't love you anymore.
What? Earth would want to kidnap Mrs. Raven.
There are some pretty screwed up people in the world.
I know, she's one of them.
No, I mean real psychos. On the news today, there was some guy throwing sprouts at Nelson Mandela.
Just tell her to call it off. I can't cope with doing her job as well as mine, and George is no use.
George, of course. Why ask you for help when I can ask Thermo Man? George, you gotta help me get her back. I'm going crazy without her.
Do you miss her that much?
Yeah, she's got the keys to the fridge.
Some of us have real problems.
Ah, the old rescuing Mrs. Raven from a raft in the middle of the ocean dream, eh? Well, its subconscious meaning is perfectly clear. You're gagging for her. And you must end your sham of a marriage as soon as possible.
Are you sure?
Scientific fact. And it's extremely unfair to stay with Janet when she could be with someone more suitable. Someone she can look up to.
Yes.
Of course, I'm not a qualified psychologist. Dream analysis isn't really part of the service.
So,
I'll have to charge you for that. 20 quid should do it.
Here you go, Tyler. 3 bottles of evening primrose oil and a jar of moisturizer.
Don't worry, Arnie. We'll find Mrs. Raven. I've got all my friends out looking for her.
Really?
Yeah. Bungle, Zippy, the robot from the Short Circuit films. They're bound to find her.
Thanks, Tyler.
I know she'll be okay.
How do you know?
Female intuition.
Tyler, you don't have female intuition.
Why don't I?
For the same reason you don't have feminine charms, girlish enthusiasm, or ladylike manners. You're not a woman.
I expected that sort of prejudice from some, Arnie, but not you. If it were up to people like you, I probably wouldn't even be allowed to vote.
No, you probably wouldn't.
Hi, Tyler. What's wrong with him?
Women's problems. Never mind him, George. You gotta do something about Mrs. Raven.
I know. I'm going to do something today.
It's about time.
I'm going to leave Janet.
What? How's that gonna help?
If I'm going to tell Mrs. Raven I love her, I need to be fair to Janet first.
Whoa. You love Mrs. Raven? What kind of sick